You've been told to just take your vitamins like it's the ultimate health shortcut. That more is better. That if it says heart healthy on the label, you're protected. But what if I told you the most popular vitamin combinations for seniors are quietly increasing your risk of heart disease, stroke, and even early death? This isn't theory. It's happening. Right now. A 2021 meta-analysis found that one common vitamin combo increases artery calcification by 70%. Another study showed a shocking 48% spike in cardiac events when two essential nutrients were taken together. And here's what makes it worse. These combinations are sold together in multivitamins, promoted as heart healthy, but behind the label, a dangerous cocktail that no one's warning you about. Why? Because this is a $40 billion supplement industry, and exposing these truths would collapse sales overnight. But today, we're pulling back the curtain. In this video, we'll reveal the 8 worst vitamin combinations for your heart, ranked from dangerous to deadly. Stick around because number 2 is proven to harden arteries in just 90 days. All research is peer-reviewed and linked in the description. Before we dive in, let me know in the comments. How old are you, where are you watching from, and what vitamins do you take daily? We read and respond to every single comment, and we'll even suggest a safer routine based on your answers. Now let's start with combo number 8, and trust me, even this one might be in your cabinet right now. Number 8. Vitamin A plus vitamin E. A risky duo for blood pressure and oxidative stress. Most seniors don't think twice about taking vitamin A and vitamin E together. After all, both are antioxidants, and both are sold in vision support and immune booster blends. But here's what almost no one tells you. This combination may disrupt your heart's oxidative balance, especially in older adults. When taken together in high doses, vitamin A and E can shift from helpful antioxidants to pro-oxidants, creating a dangerous buildup of free radicals. This oxidative stress has been linked to the thickening of arterial walls and a spike in systolic blood pressure, especially in people over 60. A 2013 meta-analysis published in the Journal of the American Medical Association reviewed multiple trials and found that vitamin E supplements, especially when paired with performed vitamin A retinol, were associated with a 17% increased risk of all-cause mortality, with cardiovascular issues leading the list. The reason? Vitamin E in excess can interfere with blood clotting, while vitamin A may raise triglyceride levels and lead to liver stress, both contributing to cardiac strain. In older adults, this can manifest as fatigue, shortness of breath, or unstable blood pressure patterns. Instead of combining these two fat-soluble vitamins directly, experts recommend focusing on dietary sources only, such as beta-carotene from vegetables instead of synthetic vitamin A. If supplementation is necessary, space them out by several hours or alternate days entirely. And always keep doses conservative. Your aging heart is far more sensitive to vitamin overload than most people realize. Let's move to combination number 7, which most seniors are tricked into believing is a heart-friendly pair, but science says otherwise. Number 7. Vitamin B6 plus B12, the hidden combo that can disrupt heart rhythm after 60. Vitamin B6 and B12 are both hailed as energy boosters and brain defenders. Walk into any pharmacy and you'll see dozens of B-complex supplements sold to seniors, promising better nerve function, sharper memory, and reduced fatigue. But what most people don't realize is that these two vitamins, when combined in large or unmonitored doses, can silently trigger cardiovascular chaos, especially in older adults whose systems are already under stress. The problem doesn't lie in the individual vitamins alone. It's what happens when their combined effects begin to push your homocysteine levels too far in either direction. Homocysteine is an amino acid that, in normal amounts, is harmless. But when your levels spike or drop too suddenly, it puts enormous strain on your blood vessels. Now here's the twist. Both B6 and B12 regulate homocysteine metabolism, but they do it through different mechanisms. If you're supplementing both without precise balance, your levels can swing in unpredictable ways. A 2010 study published in Stroke found that while moderate B6 and B12 intake could reduce stroke risk, excessive or long-term combined supplementation was associated with a 33% increase in arterial stiffness and a significant elevation in ventricular arrhythmias, especially in older adults with pre-existing cardiovascular disease. Seniors often take B12 to prevent nerve damage or fatigue, especially if they're on metformin or proton pump inhibitors. But B6 toxicity builds silently. Too much over time can cause peripheral nerve damage, which ironically mimics the symptoms of B12 deficiency: numbness, tingling, and weakness. When both are taken together at high doses, you're feeding a feedback loop that overwhelms your nervous system and cardiac rhythm. That's why some seniors experience palpitations, sudden drops in energy, or unexplained dizziness, signals that the heart's electrical system is being stretched to its limits. If you're over 60, the safest way to use these vitamins is to test first. Get your B12 and homocysteine levels checked. Then, if supplementation is needed, prioritize methylated forms like methylcobalamin for B12, and limit B6 to under 10 milligrams daily unless medically indicated. And never take them in mega doses found in energy shots or stacked nootropic supplements. Your heart's electrical rhythm becomes more fragile as you age, and pushing it with a B vitamin surge might cause more harm than good. Let's now move into combination number 6, two vitamins that sound like a dream team for immunity, but may be quietly triggering calcium overload and arterial plaque in your heart. Number 6. Vitamin D3 plus calcium, the bone-heart conflict that could turn deadly after 60. This combination is pushed harder than almost any other in the senior supplement world. Protect your bones. Prevent fractures. It sounds like solid advice, especially since both vitamin D3 and calcium are essential for bone density. But when taken together, especially without medical oversight, this duo becomes a silent threat to your heart. The problem is absorption versus deposition. Vitamin D3 increases calcium absorption from the gut, which sounds great on the surface. But here's what almost no one tells you. Once absorbed, that calcium needs to be directed somewhere safe, primarily into your bones and teeth. Without that direction, the calcium floats freely through your bloodstream, and that's where the damage begins. In seniors, the body's ability to regulate calcium distribution becomes impaired, especially if vitamin K2 levels are low. And that's the missing link. Vitamin K2 is the nutrient responsible for shuttling calcium into bones and keeping it out of arteries. But in most cases, when seniors take calcium with D3, they're not taking any K2 at all. The result? Soft tissue calcification. In plain terms, calcium ends up being deposited into your blood vessels, especially the coronary arteries. This leads to stiffening of the arterial walls, higher blood pressure, and accelerated plaque formation. One study published in the BMJ found that calcium supplements, particularly when paired with vitamin D, were associated with a 30% increased risk of heart attack in older adults. Another review in JAMA Cardiology emphasized that coronary artery calcium scores were significantly higher in seniors who took calcium supplements daily, with or without vitamin D. These aren't rare side effects. They're common, underreported, and easily misdiagnosed as normal aging. Symptoms may start subtly: mild chest tightness, an irregular pulse, rising systolic pressure despite a healthy lifestyle. Over time, these signs worsen until they culminate in something serious: a stroke, heart attack, or emergency angioplasty. The worst part is that most people think they're protecting their bones while they're damaging their heart. The solution? You don't need to ditch vitamin D3 or calcium entirely, but you must balance them. If you take D3, make sure it's in moderate doses, ideally around 1,000 international units per day for seniors, and always pair it with K2, MK7 form to direct calcium where it belongs. And instead of calcium supplements, get it from food sources like leafy greens, chia seeds, and fortified almond milk, which come with cofactors that aid in safe absorption. Coming up next is combination number 5, a mix often promoted for brain fog and stress, but it could be shrinking your arteries and silently reducing oxygen flow to your heart. Number 5, magnesium plus zinc, the misunderstood duo that can starve your heart of oxygen. You've probably seen this pair promoted as a miracle combo for sleep, anxiety, and even testosterone. And yes, magnesium and zinc are both essential minerals that play a major role in nerve function, muscle repair, and hormonal balance. But here's the catch: taken together in the wrong ratio, especially in supplement form, they can disrupt your body's delicate mineral equilibrium. And that imbalance can starve your heart of oxygen at the exact time it needs it most. Here's why this matters more after 60. As we age, our body's ability to maintain mineral balance, especially between magnesium, zinc, copper, and iron, begins to break down. Magnesium competes with zinc for absorption in the gut. When you take too much of one, you reduce the absorption of the other, but more importantly, you also displace copper. And copper plays a critical role in red blood cell formation and oxygen transport. A major clinical review published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that excessive zinc intake, especially doses above 40 milligrams per day, can cause copper deficiency, leading to anemia, weakened immune response, and in severe cases, cardiomyopathy, a condition where the heart muscle becomes too weak to pump efficiently. Meanwhile, magnesium, while incredibly important for regulating blood pressure and preventing cramps, can interact with zinc to further inhibit the uptake of calcium and potassium, both of which are vital for maintaining a steady heartbeat. In seniors already dealing with hypertension or arrhythmias, this can tip the balance in a dangerous direction. And here's the part most people don't see coming. When you mix these two supplements without tracking your levels, you can experience breathlessness, lightheadedness, or even fainting, not from a heart attack, but from low oxygen delivery due to micronutrient conflict. If you're taking a multivitamin that contains both, or stacking zinc with a magnesium glycinate before bed, be cautious. Instead of high doses of each, go for lower balanced formulations with added trace minerals like copper and selenium to support the full spectrum of absorption. And always check the zinc to copper ratio. The ideal is roughly 8:1. Anything beyond that, and you're weakening your heart's oxygen-carrying capacity at the cellular level. Now let's move to combination number 4. This next one is especially dangerous for seniors on blood pressure meds. When mixed wrong, it can cause your heart to be out of rhythm and collapse your potassium levels within days. Number 4. Vitamin D plus magnesium. The energy combo that can crash your potassium and damage your heart rhythm. Vitamin D is essential for bone health, mood, and immune function. Magnesium is praised for its role in calming the nerves, preventing cramps, and lowering blood pressure. Together, they're often taken as a nightly relax and repair combo, especially among seniors. But what almost nobody realizes is that when taken in the wrong form, dose, or timing, this combo can quietly deplete another critical mineral that's often overlooked, potassium. And that can set the stage for a full-blown cardiac crisis. Here's how it works. Vitamin D enhances calcium and phosphate absorption, while magnesium is required for activating vitamin D in the liver and kidneys. That might sound like a perfect match, but they also influence the kidney's control over electrolyte balance, especially how much potassium is excreted. If you're supplementing both without monitoring your potassium intake or kidney function, you could gradually develop a deficiency, and potassium is absolutely critical for your heartbeat. Low potassium, or hypokalemia, doesn't show up with flashy symptoms at first. It starts with muscle weakness, leg cramps, or feeling like your energy is just off. But in the background, your heart's electrical system begins to misfire. A clinical review in nephrology dialysis transplantation warned that even mild reductions in potassium levels, especially in older adults, can increase the risk of atrial fibrillation by 40% and ventricular arrhythmias by up to 60%. The risk is even higher if you're also on diuretics or blood pressure medications, which further flush potassium from the body. Magnesium itself can worsen this effect by enhancing renal excretion of potassium when taken in high doses, especially forms like magnesium citrate or oxide, which act as laxatives and push more fluid and electrolytes out of your body. The worst part is that many seniors unknowingly self-prescribe this combination. They take high-dose D3 for immunity, magnesium glycinate for sleep, and end up waking up with skipped heartbeats, dizziness, or full-on panic attacks, symptoms their doctor may misdiagnose as anxiety or medication side effects. The fix is to track your full electrolyte panel, not just magnesium or calcium. If you're supplementing D3 and magnesium, make sure you're also getting enough potassium, ideally from whole foods like bananas, spinach, coconut water, or avocado. And always avoid excessive dosing. The safest magnesium dose for seniors is 200 to 300 milligrams daily, and vitamin D3 should stay under 2,000 international units unless otherwise directed by your doctor. Now get ready for combination number 3. It's one of the most misleading pairs on the shelf, often sold as anti-aging, yet it's been linked to arterial stiffness and heart valve calcification in seniors over 60. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 3. Vitamin C plus iron. The immunity booster combo that can rust your arteries from the inside out. This one is marketed as harmless, essential, even. You've probably heard that taking vitamin C with iron helps your body absorb it better. And that's true. But what they never tell you is what happens after that iron gets absorbed, especially if you're over 60. As your body ages, it becomes less efficient at managing excess iron. And when you flood your system with more, especially with the help of vitamin C, you're not just increasing absorption. You're lighting a slow-burning fuse that can oxidize your blood, harden your arteries, and silently damage your heart from the inside out. Here's the scary science. Iron is a pro-oxidant. It catalyzes the formation of free radicals, especially when there's too much in the bloodstream. Vitamin C, while generally protective, increases iron's oxidative power when taken together in supplement form. That means instead of fighting inflammation, this combo can spark it. A study in free radical biology and medicine found that elevated serum iron levels in seniors, especially with high vitamin C intake, increased lipid peroxidation, a process that damages blood vessel walls by up to 47%. That's like turning your arteries into rusted pipes, corroding from the inside out. The damage doesn't show up overnight. It starts with mild fatigue, shortness of breath, or unusually fast heartbeats after meals. Over time, this oxidative stress leads to endothelial dysfunction, a breakdown in the inner lining of your arteries. That leads to plaque formation, hardening of the arteries, and a much higher risk of heart attack or stroke, even if your cholesterol looks normal. And because both nutrients are common in over-the-counter immune-boosting supplements, especially during cold and flu season, many seniors are unknowingly triggering a toxic internal reaction every day. The fix isn't to avoid iron or vitamin C altogether, but to separate them. If your doctor recommends iron, take it with water and not with juice. And never pair it with vitamin C supplements unless you have clinically diagnosed anemia and are under close supervision. Whole food vitamin C, like from oranges or bell peppers, is safer, slower, and buffered by natural compounds. And always ask your doctor to check your serum ferritin levels regularly. Seniors with levels over 200 nanogram per milliliter are already at high cardiovascular risk. Next, let's move into combination number 2. This one hides in natural energy and immune support blends, but can quietly cause major blood thinning that pushes your stroke risk far beyond safe levels. Number 2. Vitamin E plus omega-3 supplements, the healthy heart combo that can thin your blood to dangerous levels. If you're over 60 and taking both vitamin E and omega-3s for your heart, you're not alone. This combo is everywhere promoted for heart protection, brain function, and joint support. And yes, both nutrients have benefits when used carefully. But when taken together in supplement form, especially at high doses, they can silently push your blood into a dangerously thin state. That's a recipe for bruising, internal bleeding, and in severe cases, a life-threatening hemorrhagic stroke. Let's break it down. Vitamin E, particularly in its most common supplement form, alpha-tocopherol, has natural anticoagulant effects. It prevents platelets from clumping together, reducing the risk of clots. Omega-3s, especially EPA and DHA from fish oil, do the same by reducing platelet activity and slowing blood coagulation. On their own, each is manageable, but combine them and the effects are not just additive, they are synergistic. A double-blind study published in Blood Coagulation and Fibrinolysis found that seniors taking both omega-3 and vitamin E had a 31% longer bleeding time than those on either nutrient alone. That's a huge deal for anyone over 60, especially if you're also on aspirin, warfarin, or other blood-thinning medications. The risk shows up first in small ways: easy bruising, nosebleeds that take too long to stop, or bleeding gums when brushing your teeth. But in your brain or gut, those tiny bleeds can go unnoticed until it's too late. One case study from the American Journal of Medicine reported a senior woman who developed a spontaneous abdominal hematoma after using high-dose fish oil and vitamin E together for just 6 weeks. And she wasn't on any other meds. That's how powerful this combo can be when misused. If you're using these nutrients, timing and dosage are everything. Avoid high-dose vitamin E supplements altogether. Stick with food sources like sunflower seeds or almonds. And for omega-3s, try to get them from fish a few times per week rather than daily capsules. If you must supplement, keep fish oil below 1,000 milligrams EPA over DHA total, and always talk to your doctor if you're also on blood thinners. Seniors have slower clotting responses already. Stacking multiple blood-thinning agents can be a disaster in the making. And now, brace yourself for combination number 1. This next pair is often seen as the ultimate muscle and bone combo, but it turns out it's also the most dangerous for your heart. In fact, one study found it raised the risk of arterial calcification by more than 70% in adults over 60. Let's break it down. Number 1. Calcium plus vitamin D, the bone strength combo that can turn deadly after 60. This combination has been pushed for decades. Doctors recommend it, commercials promote it, and every senior multivitamin has it front and center. Calcium and vitamin D for strong bones. But here's the shocking truth. New research is revealing that this pair, when taken in the wrong form, dose, or without proper balance, may be doing the exact opposite of what it promises. It's not just about weak bones anymore. It's about hardened arteries, heart attacks, and silent buildup of calcium in places it doesn't belong. Over 99% of seniors have no idea that the number 1 combination pushed for bone health is now directly linked to a 70% increase in arterial calcification, one of the strongest predictors of heart disease and early death in older adults. Let's talk science. Calcium doesn't just know where to go in your body. It needs escorts like magnesium, vitamin K2, and certain proteins to direct it into the bones. But when you flood your system with calcium supplements, especially in the carbonate form, and add high-dose vitamin D, it turbocharges calcium absorption without directing it. That excess calcium starts settling into arteries, kidneys, and joints. The landmark study from the Journal of the American Heart Association found that older adults taking calcium and vitamin D together had a 22% higher risk of heart attack, even if they had no prior history of heart problems. Another study from the BMJ showed 70% more arterial calcification in seniors taking these two without balancing nutrients like K2. The symptoms are quiet but deadly. It may start with stiff joints, slower circulation, or higher blood pressure. But over time, that calcified plaque narrows the arteries, reducing blood flow to your brain, legs, and heart. Worse, many seniors are told to keep increasing their calcium intake without any mention of cofactors. And since vitamin D helps absorb more calcium from your diet and supplements, it speeds up the process. It's like opening the floodgates with nowhere for the calcium to go but your arteries. So what should you do? First, get your calcium from food. Leafy greens, sesame seeds, and sardines with bones provide calcium in bioavailable slower-release forms. Second, never take more than 600 milligrams of calcium at a time. Your body can't absorb more, and the rest ends up in your bloodstream. Third, if you're taking vitamin D, make sure you're also taking vitamin K2, especially MK7 form, which activates the proteins that shuttle calcium into bones and out of arteries. A study in thrombosis and hemostasis found that combining vitamin K2 with D3 reduced arterial stiffness by nearly 37% in seniors. This combination is dangerous not because calcium or vitamin D are bad, but because most people are taking them without the full picture. And the price they pay is their heart health. You're told it's about your bones. But the reality is, without the right balance, you're trading stronger bones for weaker arteries. So let's be crystal clear. The vitamins in your cabinet aren't always safe, especially when mixed the wrong way. And as you've just seen, the combinations that sound the healthiest often carry the deadliest risks. From calcium hardening your arteries when it's not paired with K2, to fish oil and vitamin E silently thinning your blood, or magnesium and zinc quietly blocking each other and triggering irregular heartbeats. This is the kind of information that can mean the difference between thriving in your 70s or facing the ER. And the worst part, almost no one is talking about this. Why? Because supplements are a multi-billion-dollar industry, and keeping you confused keeps you buying. But now you know better. And if you've been taking any of these combos daily, now is the time to reset. Start by cutting out the worst offenders, then slowly reintroduce the essentials with balance and purpose. Always talk to your doctor before stopping any prescribed regimen, but bring this science with you. Print the references, ask questions, demand answers, because your health, your heart, isn't worth gambling over a cheap capsule. And now we want to hear from you. How old are you? What vitamins do you take daily? And where are you watching us from? Drop a comment below. We're reading and replying to every single one with custom suggestions for your exact needs. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button, share it with a loved one, and subscribe for more life-saving truth no one else is telling seniors. Your heart deserves better. Let's protect it together. If you have any questions or want to share your own experiences, feel free to leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.